We are live. We are blessed. Thank God for another day. Matt Garland here, NMLS number 58700, better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk a little bit about squatters. I posted something on Instagram earlier today, but first, before we get into that, make sure y'all get into mgbookstore.com, pick up the latest and greatest books. You already know the vibe: House Hackonomics, The Real Estate Investors Manifesto. Make sure you guys pick that up today. Go to mgbookstore.com. So it's been a while since I've been on StreamYard. I was having technical difficulties with the other system, so I had to pivot back to StreamYard, something that we was using when we first started, when me and Tooks first started getting these streams going. But we're here now. So look, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, MG the Mortgage Guy, and realtors, real estate professionals. Tap in the comments, man. Let us know who you are, where you from. Put your name and everything in the comments. You know, all your information. Let me make sure y'all can see my YouTube plaque a little bit better than that. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for all the support. All right, so let's get started, man. Let's get started. So earlier today on my Instagram page, I reposted something from Hollywood Unlocked, and it was about squatters. And it's pretty shameful, these damn squatters, man. These squatters is like the biggest scammers in America right now. One of the biggest scammers. They probably top 5 scammers, squatters, right? It's ridiculous. But let me play y'all. Let's play this so you can catch up to what I'm talking here. All right. Here we go.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are. You don't.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more on what happened. Tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you.
Who are these people? Figure out the situation. But they're in my house, man.
Relax.
No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
It's crazy.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, will be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found 2 men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And that's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
Terrible, man.
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed,
That's not going on.
the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see
Wow.
this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter, to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did
And
not.
so did you.
Ma'am.
You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. You need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own it.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October.
It's
But
crazy,
tell us
yo.
with who?
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He said, I
didn't
like
show
that.
me a lease.
This is a bill.
Savage.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested
For what?
For being in,
for being in my own home.
And and where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what it's
current
told
and
me.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you
The
leave?
way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
Yo, this is crazy, yo. Guys, are y'all seeing this foolishness?
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
My man is a professional scammer.
How about that? A squatter standoff.
A squatter standoff, y'all. A squatter standoff. Like, yo, there's a lot to unpack in this. A lot to unpack in this. First of all, I feel bad for this homeowner here. The house was left to her by her parents, and all she's trying to do is sell it. And this bum, this squatter, moved into the crib and took over. This infuriates me. Like, first of all, who in the hell invented this law? Who invented squatter rights? And who passed this? And why do many states have squatters' rights? Like, I don't understand that for the life of me. Thank you, Tanisha, for putting the link to the video in the chat. And shout out to ABC Channel 7 New York News for the reporting. I grew up on Channel 7, Eyewitness News. Great reporting. But this is just disgusting. This is just terrible. Like, who in the God's green earth thought about squatter rights? Why do squatters have rights? Now, I understand this country was built on squatting, but we ain't going to go into all of that, right? Y'all know your history. And I see when people comment about this, they like to say, well, America was built on it, so he's doing nothing wrong. Shh, please, please, please shut the hell up forever. Don't even talk. This one's not for you. This is not for you. I don't get why. I get why. I understand why she was arrested, but like, yo, bro, have some compassion. Like, have some compassion. This dude did not show no lease. He showed receipts of work that he's done while he lived in the house. That should not give you the right to stay there. And just because, and like she said on the thing, anybody who lives in New York knows that anything you're trying to do in the state of New York is going to take more than 30 days. Like, anything you're trying to do, it's going to take more than 30 days. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if the squatter has rights after 30 days, but the system is not set up to act before 30 days, you're screwed. You're screwed. New York has some of the worst laws when it comes to housing. The landlord-tenant process in New York, like they said in the video, can take up to 2 freaking years. So meanwhile, this lady has to deal with somebody living in her house for free, pay property taxes, homeowners insurance, and possibly a mortgage for someone else to live in for free, pay lawyers to go to court, and then 9 times out of 10 is going to have to pay to renovate the house once the squatters move out because they ain't taking care of it. This is disgusting. And my beautiful city of New York should be ashamed of themselves for even having something like this. This is terrible. And I feel so bad for this lady. Now, this is also the dark side of real estate. Now, most of you know, I always say, welcome to the dark side. Shout out to all my mentees, because when they're going through their problems, and I had a couple mentees today on the phone with me today, and I say to them, welcome to the dark side of real estate. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ugly of real estate. You have to know your laws. You have to know if you're in a landlord-tenant friendly state. You have to know your squatter rights, the squatter right laws in the state or city that you're purchasing real estate, especially if these homes are empty while you're doing rehabs and stuff like that. Or you're trying to sell it. You have to know your laws, because there are professional scammers out here, just like this gentleman and his whole crew. He had him, 2 of his boys, and some chick living there. So it's like 4 people living for free. They're professional scammers, professional tenants, allegedly. Let me say allegedly, because I don't want them to sue me, right? Like, it's terrible. And I just for the life of me cannot understand how this can continue to go on all over the country, and these politicians are not doing anything to change these laws. I don't get it. This is disgusting. It's just truly disgusting. So, what all of you guys got to do, what everybody got to do, squatter, and I think we did this on the last one, squatter laws nationwide, right? Adverse possession. Everybody type in chat, adverse possession. Adverse possession. Type in chat, please. Type in chat. Let's go to this page. Let me zoom this in. Right? Which states have squatters' rights? Squatter rights, also known as adverse possession laws, exist in all 50 states of the U.S. How and when these laws are enforced differ greatly from state to state. However, the below states have a squatter's law that requires the individual to have lived in the property in question for 20 years or more. Okay. Jersey, 21. Okay. Meanwhile, following states have, and y'all can screenshot this. Matter of fact, we're going to put this in the chat. Let me put this in the chat for y'all. Let me copy this. Let me put this in the chat for y'all. Adverse possession, y'all. Word of the day. Adverse possession. So I just put this in the chat, the link that on the website that I'm looking at. And do your own research too. Okay. So, okay. What's this say? Meanwhile, following state has squatter laws that requires the individual living in the property in question 19 years or less. Shit is ridiculous. Right? So go in here and Google's your best friend. There's probably a couple other that's New York squatters' rights, laws and tips, e-forms. So it's a lot of things up here, a lot of websites, right, that you can go to kind of look and see what the laws are. Do your due diligence, y'all. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Do your research. You got to learn these things, right? You got to learn these things. And P Smooth, what you said? You said, let me put this on my big screen. Pause. This was the first article I saw when I Googled this, but was a bit confused, especially in New York, because those people haven't been in there for years. Keep out of your house. So, yeah, so once you over 30 days, they have the right to squat, basically. But also, P Smooth, if you want to know more about these laws and squatter rights and things of that nature, I would highly recommend everyone. You have to have a great real estate attorney. Landlord tenant who specializes in landlord tenant issues. Very important. That's one of the key members that you need to have on your team. Landlord tenant. You need it. Because if you're confused about something, and the law is very confusing, you need to have somebody on your squad, on your team, that can make you unconfused. Because adverse possession is real, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not the first time we spoke about this on the show. We've spoken about this. Probably, I think this is the second time I showed the video about this. And not for nothing, both of these times was in New York. I think the first one was in Long Island, and this one now in Queens. But if you go on YouTube and you put in squatters, yo, you're going to see mad videos come up all over the country, all over the news from years and years ago. This ain't nothing new. This happens every day, B. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Why the landlords don't sue the state, you said, Miss Betty? Let me put this. Shout out to Miss Betty. I love Miss Betty. MG, why the landlords don't sue the state? I guess you mean. Because you can't sue the state. Where you going to sue them? You can't sue them. From my understanding. And if you even try, you're going to lose. I'm glad to be here with you. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for being here with me. And shout out to all y'all for supporting me and Rants and Gems. I know we haven't, the first quarter, I kind of took some things off, time off, but we back, baby. Don't worry. Probably what they used to steal land from the people. Look. As a landlord, so Jamel says, as a landlord, I recommend as well to get rent loss coverage insurance in case things happen while tenants live on your property and stop paying rent. Agreed. We had a whole class about this in MG Mortgage Academy. Go to mgmortgageacademy.com if you're not a member. Join today. Go to MG Mortgage Academy. We had a whole class on this. We had a dope class yesterday, too. Shout out to my brother Carter Cofield. He came in there and blessed us with a lot of information. I learned how to write off my dog cash. I'm happier than the pig and shit. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I learned how to write off my dog yesterday. Gotta love the tax code. Blue Cousin says, wasn't this law from a long time ago, like back in the olden days, like the Wild Wild West? That's a fact. Some laws need to be upgraded. Shannon said, yes, it was a whole class. Replay will be uploaded by Friday to the Academy, y'all. We got some more hot fire classes coming to the Academy, too. Make sure y'all remember. And shout out to all my mentees. If you want to become a mentee, DM me. The word mentee. I've been going a minute. Sheesh. Yeah, me too. I took off the whole quarter. Now we back. Literally, this is only like my 6th episode for the year. But we back. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna bring y'all some heat. Right. We got a lot of interviews coming up, a lot of good things coming to Rants and Gems. And I think I'm only gonna come on, make my life easier because I'm so busy with my mentees and everything like that. I think I'm only gonna come on twice a week moving forward. This is wild, MG. Yeah, it is wild. What's your thoughts, man? Type in comments what you think. Should these laws be reversed? Should a homeowner have to go through this? Should squatters be able to just come live in your shit with no repercussions, basically. Like, for the life of me, you break in my house, live for free, and then after 30 days, you have the right to adverse possession? Like, what? Who the hell made up this shit? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Miss Pris says, I just saw this on the news. The squatter had the nerve to say the owner needs to pay him back work he done around the home, and then she could get her place back. The audacity of this fella to say that she got to pay me back for work I did when I didn't even ask you to break into my house unlawfully. First of all, you broke into my house. You broke into my house. Like, adverse possession starts with breaking and entering. Like, I don't understand this shit. You broke into my house. You broke into it. That's illegal. You broke into my crib. So how are you not, like, literally, you broke into the goddamn house. So how can you not get arrested for breaking and entering? If I can show you the mortgage statement, the deed, and I show that I am the legal owner of this house and I don't know this fool, you are trespassing and you broke into my crib. All right. I don't know if this is true, HH. He wasn't a squatter. He was a contractor fixing the house and she didn't pay him and he stayed laughing out loud. First of all, that shit ain't funny. Because if you are contracted and don't get paid, then you don't have the right to stay in my house too. What you can do is you can put a mechanic's lien on my house for the money I owe you and charge me interest. You can sue me, take me to court, but you don't have the right to break and enter in my house just because I didn't pay you. So HH, I don't like the last part of your comment. This is not funny, bro, or ma'am, or whatever you are, HH. Like, this ain't funny. What if it happened to you? What if it happened to you? Would you be laughing? Come on, bro. Raymond Blue said the laws need to be changed ASAP. If they have no proof of residence, a lease, rent payment, etc., you have 2 hours to bounce. I agree. Get the hell out. Don't forget to join MG Mortgage Academy. Agreed. We got over 100 people like and share. Please and thank you. Yes. Like, share, comment, hit the bell for notification. Throw some gems in the comment. Somebody said HH is a Nazi. Wow. Nene says, right. With mad H's and T's. So she's saying that with authority. Then if I don't pay the back taxes because of this, it's on me. That's a fact. If I don't pay my mortgage, if I mess up my credit and possibly can get foreclosed on. If I don't pay the property taxes, I can get foreclosed on. Meanwhile, somebody living in my house and the law ain't doing nothing about it, especially here in New York. Squatters always say they were scammed. That's a fact. Squatters are always the victim. And all of these things I've watched, they always act like they're the victim. What the hell is wrong with this world? Like, seriously, y'all. What the hell is wrong with this world? Like, it don't make no sense. What our attorneys are saying about this? Not a damn thing. It ain't doing much. Antoine said, this is why it's so important to vote and keep this in mind election year. Not for nothing, Antoine. I don't hear no politicians talking about squatter laws. She was nice and called the police. I would have called Ray Ray and them. The goons would have been at the door. Ron Moon said, MG, how do hotels get people out, but homeowners can't get no legal support? Because hotels are big businesses. And not for nothing, like even here in New York, right? And I'm only going to speak to New York because I've only tried to do long stays at hotels here in New York when I was in my transition of my life. And I was trying to do 30 plus day stays, but the hotel would not let me book the room for no more than 27 days at a time. And then I had to check out of the hotel and rebook for the next day. I said, wow. And it was all because of squatters' rights. So, yeah. Yeah. MG, what should investors and landlords learn from this? Investors and landlords should learn from this. Number one, know the laws of the state, county, city that you are investing in, right? Is it landlord friendly? Is it tenant friendly? What are the squatter rights? What's the definition of trespassing? Number two, have a kick-ass landlord tenant attorney by your side. Have them, if not on retainer, have them a phone call away, right? You need to have that. And number three, have some goons on deck. That's the top three things. You need some goons on deck. I'm sorry. Some shit, you got to call the goons. Some shits, some things, I'm sorry. That might not be the most professional thing to say, but I'm sorry. Some things, you got to call the goons. I'm just saying. Goons should have been number one to me. Like, look, man, I'm sorry. You squatting my property. Might be trouble. Allegedly. P. Smooth says a quick Google search says squatters' rights have been in place since the Homestead Act of 1862. Damn, it's time someone revisit this antiquated policy. 1862, bro. I don't even know. That's like 150 years ago, bro. Why are we still? Come on, man. Yeah, Ravi Fitness said, Maria said she's showing up with all her PR cousins. I'm calling all the Dominicans with the razor, with the box cutters in them under their tongue. Boy, you need a lawyer. Boy, you need lawyer money like now than ever before. Shaking my head. That's a fact. It's definitely time. It's definitely time for the laws to be updated. It's definitely time for that. Like, they're antiquated. And I like, again, I know we over here talking and shooting the shit in the comments and everything like that, but yo, this ain't funny. It ain't funny. And I feel bad for this homeowner. I feel bad for anybody who's going through having squatter issues and stuff like that. Miss Betty Jones says politicians would talk about it if we held them accountable. This would change if corporate landlords had this happen too. Of course, if the corporations was going through this, we wouldn't even probably have these laws. In 1862, those early colonizers were the OG squatters. It's a fact. That's why we probably got those laws. Sunkisser says, got to post no trespassing signs, wide doorbell ring, and give your neighbors your phone number. I agree with that too. Good tips right there. The laws will change when they hit the big boy pockets. It's a fact. That is a fact. And right now, it don't look like it's hitting them. So look, man. Yeah, I remember that, Miss Betty, when they burned down the house with tenants inside. Yeah, I remember it was just recently too. I think the landlord got arrested because he shot, and it was happening in New York too. They shot the tenants or something like that. Shit, it's crazy, man. Can't be playing with people. This law is terrible. Terrible. So you guys comment in the comments. What's your thought on this? Squatter laws Somebody posted that they Google searched that these laws been intact since 1862. Is it time for these politicians nationwide, governors, mayors, councilmen, councilwomen, to revisit these squatter laws nationwide? Should this be on a federal level where there's some federal mandate behind squatter laws and stuff like that? Y'all type that in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in for Rants and Gems. Make sure y'all download us on all podcast audio outlets, and make sure you go to mgbookstore.com, pick up the books, and also join MG Mortgage Academy for the highest level of education, real estate education on the markets for the most affordable prices. Go to mgmortgageacademy.com. And if you're interested in one-on-one mentorship, shoot me a DM on Instagram, or type in comments mentor, or DM me the word mentor, and let's get on a call and let's discuss how I personally can help you achieve your real estate goals. Enrollment ends in a few days. Don't wait, don't hesitate. All right. That's all I got for y'all. Tap in Friday. We got a big Invest Fest announcement, ladies and gentlemen. A big Invest Fest announcement this Friday. Okay, so I need you guys to tap in Earn Your Leisure Invest Festival page on Instagram for more details. Stay tuned to my page, MG the Mortgage Guy. I'm going to repost it as well, but we got a big Invest Fest announcement coming up. Which city will Invest Fest be in? You'll know Friday. All right. Make sure y'all tap in. Shout out to Sun Kisses. She says, MG looking good. That is a fact. I am not going to hold you up, Sun Kisses. I'm down 35 pounds right now for the year. I'm feeling amazing. My barber's the GOAT, and life is great right now. So although I've been off of Rants and Gems for this quarter, I've been working out. I've been on my fitness movement, my health movement. So that was one of the reasons why you guys haven't really seen me on Rants and Gems or on YouTube. It's because I've been really focused on myself. You know, I had to take time for me, for MG, to get my stuff together, to get my life together, to get my health together, to get my fitness journey really kicking the way I need to. So I'm down right now 35 pounds this quarter, and I feel great. My face is slimming, my skin is glowing, like my energy levels are there. So sometimes you gotta, and let this be a lesson to you, man. Sometimes you gotta take 2 steps backwards to move 10 steps forward in life. And that's kind of what I've done for this fourth quarter. This first quarter of the year, it's kind of take a couple steps backwards so that way I can move 10 steps forward and execute at the highest levels and to be consistent as possible. Because without health, ain't no wealth, y'all. Ain't no wealth. So that's all I got for y'all. Matt Garland here, NMLS number 58700, but better known as MG the Mortgage Guy. Peace.